Thank you, Mr. Chairman. H.R. 2798 proposes to charge a flat $200 annual fee for small film crews to use public lands. This legislation seems unnecessary at best, since the Forest Service, the Park Service, and the Fish and Wildlife Service have already proposed a fee schedule for small crew filming on public lands with daily rates as low as $10. We must also allow these agencies to increase fees with inflation, not lock fees in at soon-to-be outdated levels, and then require the agencies to come to Congress for approval to raise fees as this bill would envision. We can all imagine how successful that would be, to come to Congress to raise fees. There are plenty of examples of other fees not keeping up with the times, such as fees for grazing cattle, mining coal. Neglecting to tie fees to inflation has resulted in the American taxpayers subsidizing big businesses and getting stuck with the cost of cleaning up their messes. Just as importantly, this bill does nothing to address the potential danger to public lands from vehicles and heavy equipment that's used in filming. Moreover, the bill could override current restrictions on the use of wilderness areas to the detriment of our treasured public lands. Other concerns include a lack of clarity over which agency would issue the permits, on which lands the permits would be valid, and whether or not condition-specific limitations on filming would be allowed under a one-year blanket permit. As a result, at our subcommittee hearing on August 2nd, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service testified in opposition to the bill. Again, the administration has already carefully considered and developed a final regulation and fee schedule that would establish fees for small commercial filming and still photography on our public lands. The rule would ensure consistency across the agencies, the National Park Service, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the Bureau of Land Management, and the U.S. Forest Service. The fees the agencies have proposed would provide a reasonable return to the United States as required in the law. The agencies carefully crafted law and fee schedule that sought input from all the relevant agencies and stakeholders obviates the need for this legislation before us today. Therefore, I urge for us to vote no against the bill. And I yield back my time.
The gentleman yields back his time. Is there further